Well, howdy howdy. Let's give people another couple of minutes. I know it's very, very early morning. I haven't really... Oh, hello, Claus. I thought it was just me in here, but hello. The only one you're looking forward to. Don't worry, the only one I'm looking forward to was Dragon Trail last night. Well, since at the moment it is just you and I might save you the suffering of waiting, and also because I doubt anyone else is going to jump in this early in the morning, we're just going to go and crack on. So, for everybody else watching this later on, hello, welcome. I know, we're late. Well, I say we, me. I'm late to Kyoto Driving Park, however, I probably can't pronounce that correctly, but I don't care at this point. We're going to go through and just remind ourselves of the championship standings as it is. So, Senor Fact is still in the lead of the championship by 24 points to Tap, who is in second position. We then got Higgsy in third, Turbo in fourth, and then Ross lost 3 places in one race on the standings. So Ross had an absolute howler last race. So hopefully a better race from Ross this time around. Aro is making up some positions as well on the standings. He's now just behind his teammate in 6th position. Going over to the standings, we got the Lamborghini Hurricanes still in the lead by 20 points to the Alfa Romeos in 2nd place, with the Supras in 3rd, only 1 point ahead of the AMGs. So still the constructors standings is really anything to fight for as we are entering the second half to this season. Going over the grid, we have got Senor Fac, I believe, again in first. I think it's his second pole to see. Yeah, his current second pole. We got Arcus in second, Deco in third, Prime in fourth. We got Aro in fifth. Great qualifying session from Aro today. Asador, finally, he has arrived. He has returned. When was the last time he drove? It was Brazil. Brazil was the last time he drove, and today he's in the Peugeot. How come you're in the Peugeot? I thought you were in a Citroen. Or have you changed? Not Asador, excuse me. I just saw ALE, and then I assumed it was Asador. No, apologies. It's, Andrew. Alice, I'm just going to say Andrew, if that's okay. Apologies, I got that completely wrong. I'm going to say Andrew, if that's okay. And I believe it is a debut as well, if I'm not mistaken. Apologies, I have seriously messed that one up. It's too early in the morning for this, for my brain. So, I'm going to say Andrew, if that's okay, in the Peugeot. We have then got Paro in 7th. We got Mason in 8th in the other Peugeot. So, a double Peugeot turnout today, which will be quite good. We got Mortal in the 9th. Hello, Mortal. Been a little while. We got Swavy in 10th. We got Ross. His debut in that race. Okay. We got Ross in 11th. So, again, okay qualifying session from Ross. But he's in a very, very good position to potentially capitalise on the race start and maybe push forward a little bit. We then got Turbo in 12th, so Turbo's had a bit of a howler as well. So's Tap in 13th. Damn, these three got some work to do. We then got Claus in 14th, and bringing up the rear is Scotty in 15th. So let's get cracking. Oh, sorry, I just missed something. So Arcus is on the soft. So this is actually a track where the tyre wear, even on the sprint setting, softs can just about manage 10 laps. So we got Arcus on the softs, Prime on the softs, Aro on the softs, interesting, Andro on the medium, Pyro on the softs, Ross on the softs, Tap on the softs. That's it. So the people I just named are on the softs, everybody else is on the mediums. So I'm expecting that GTI to get away very, very quickly because it's on the softer compounded tyre, but I don't think it has. The Lamborghinis have got a better jump actually. Senor Fact takes an immediate defensive line, comes straight across and cuts the whole grid off. As we are 3 wide further back, Aro's made up great positions. He's already up to 3rd position. Someone's already off in the back. Oh dear. Okay, what's gone on? Let's jump back to about Ross. Excuse me. So who's had a duty? Who's done a duty? As we're 3 wide further up ahead, as I just said a little bit earlier. Oh, it's Tap. I think Tap's just done that on his own from the looks of things. Oh. As we come charging down the hill, Arcus goes straight to the inside on this long left-hander. Arcus showing what the soft tyre is capable of early on in this race. Deco a bit further back, dropped down a position. Prime's made up Prime stayed the same. Pyro's made up a spot. Andro's made up a spot and pressuring Pyro as well. Going further back, we've got Turbo who's made up loads of places. Great start from Turbo. Swavy's made up a spot. Mortal's dropped a bit. Claus has made up a good couple of spots. Ross has lost a place. Mason's lost positions, and Scotty has made up a spot due to Taps mishap on the first lap. Let's go further forward. Let's stay up near the front. Arcus. Wait, what's happened to Senor Fac? Sorry, apologies. Let's come back. So Arcus goes up the inside on the long left-hander. Oh, he just goes off. He tries to carry a bit too much speed. That's going to cost him dearly as Aro just goes straight around him as we come charging down the hill. Does Aro challenge for the lead? No, not this time. Senor Fac offset going through the chicane. This is going to allow Deco, his teammate, to come straight up past him. And is this also going to allow Prime to challenge? Prime's challenging. And Senor Fac defends the inside line as we come into the second hairpin. As we come out the hairpin, Senor Fac holds it at the moment. Prime is on the soft at 2 pound high. He now has got the inside line for the right hander. So does Pyro, defending his 6th position from Andor behind. So Senor Fac holds 4th position at the moment. Prime tries to late move around the outside. That's not going to work, my friends. So Prime tries to lure a late move around the outside. That's not worked. That's allowed Pyro and Andor to go up a couple of positions. Here we go. We'll stay back here. Ross challenging Turbo for 12th position. Is also defending from Scotty as well. So Ross dealing with both Supras on his own. There's a little bit of contact going up the hill. There's a little bit of argy-bargy. Just about makes it through. Ross goes off. Turbo just about managed to hold on. Scotty capitalises from the pair of them. Excuse me. So Ross loses a position. Tap's made up a position to Mason. Mason's now dropped down to last position. Going further forward, the 2 Supras are still at it. As we come charging down the hill, Turbo's going to try and... No, he's not going to try and contest. He's going to slot in behind his teammate. Although he's slightly messed up the line a little. Morning, Ross. Don't worry, don't mind me just making complete shambles of this as normal. The Scotty defence line looked like he gets a great exit coming out as we're going almost 3 wide. I think we are almost 3 wide, that was close. Let's go further forward because these camera angles, they're okay. I wish we had a bit more control over them, being brutally honest. So, Suave defending like mad against Mortal. Mortal's now got the inside line for turn 1. There was contact. Wow, very well saved from Suave. There was contact turning in. I think Suave didn't initially realise that Mortal was there. Suave was completely sideways going into the first half of turn 1. I know my internet's not that great. It should be okay. It should be okay. I'll keep an eye out on the stream. Just let me know if it drops. So Suave still holds on to 8th position. Claus has now got 9th. Mortal's dropped down to 11th now. Scotty's made up a couple of positions going further forward. Andor's got a 2-second penalty. The front two have just disappeared, and Aro's got himself a 2-second penalty as well. Alright, cool. So going further back, Pyro in 4th position being chased at the moment by Senor Fax. Senor Fax starting in pole position, wanting to make up a little bit more ground now as we're coming up to the end of lap 3, start of lap 4. By the time we get around lap 8, I reckon, will be the time where this medium switch over. Work to do. As Prime Coil tries to challenge Senor Fax up the inside of turn 1. That doesn't work this time. Ara is now all over the back of him. As we go up through the S's, up the hill, over the crest. And there's a lovely camera angle for those two cars just ahead of Deco and Pyro's. We throw it into the left-hander. Senor Fact looks like he was a little bit unsettled going in. His car looked a little twitchy on the entry. But manages to hold the speed. We come charging down the hill. No moves really being made. There's not really anyone close enough to be making any moves at the moment. Does Aro try anything here? No, not quite close enough. Although he's going to try and offset himself, get a later apex, fire it out the corner a bit quicker. He's a lot closer this time. I'm going to jump on board because I think the camera angles through this bit aren't that great. Aro's very close to Prime. Prime defends the inside, then comes back out, back onto the racing line. He leaves the inside wide open for Aro to get throw his nose up on the inside. That's kind of worked. The side by side is becoming down the pit straight. Senor Fact is going after Pyro as well, but Pyro's straight line speed of that Corvette's just helping him out enough. Senor Fact does go up the inside of Pyro going into turn 1 as they're side by side still through turn 1. Can Pyro hold it up around the outside? Let's try and... He does. Pyro does manage to hold on to it just by the skin of his teeth around the outside of turn 1. That was a great bit of racing from these two. Going further back, Aro still going after Prime Coil. Senor Fact taking a wider line and getting the later apex, as is Aro. Prime Coil is keeping it quite tight. Aro does touch the grass in the exit. Doesn't look like it actually affects him too much. He's come charging down the hill. Careful, Prime, you don't want to be moving too much under braking. That was a massive moment for Aro. So all that momentum has just been lost, and that's even more of a well saved. So the top 5 now cleared of Aro. Aro is now going to drop into the backs of clutches of Claus, who's got Suave behind him, Mortal behind that, Turbo's in 10th. Ross is up to 11th, so great thick stuff from Ross at the moment. Excuse me, Tap down to 12th, Mason down to 13th, Andor down to 14th, and Scotty back into last position of 15th. I think something has happened this lap, but regardless, we're going to go further forward. We're definitely going to go further forward because we're going to stay here. Let's jump back and actually watch this correctly. Suave comes out of the penultimate corner. Aro, oh, he does dive bomb Claus. Oh, he gets a bit unsettled on the curbs. This allows Mortal to just go straight through on the outside. Is this going to allow Aro to disappear a little bit? This might allow him to disappear just a little bit. Going further forward, I want to watch these two. because there is a tasty battle for third at the moment between Deco, Pyro and Senor Fac. Arcus has just done an Arcus and disappeared. I might actually jump on the onboards now because it's almost getting too dark to see. So going further forward, Pyro all over the back of Deco. Bear in mind, I believe both the Lamborghini, yeah, the Lamborghinis are on mediums. Pyro is on the softs, so at the moment it's just about advantage Pyro, I reckon, until the end of this lap, and then it's going to start being an advantage Lamborghinis, where the tyre wear starts to switch. Deco does a great couple of corners, but Pyro's got better cornering speed at the moment. Senor Fac's not quite close enough to really contest Pyro as Deco defends the inside line. Pyro does a wider line, doesn't get the later apex he wants, but still close enough for a move. As we dip down the hill, round the right, round to the left, tricky corner. Don't want to take too much curb toll as it fires you off into the grass on the outside. Deco taking a wider line, getting a later apex to straighten up that exit, which has worked a lot better for him. Pyro's taking a tighter line to try and challenge. So this has compromised Pyro, because here comes Senor Fac. Senor Fac's now between Pyro and the pit wall. Pyro's properly squeezed him out, just about left enough room for him. Are we going to see him go around the outside again, or has Senor Fac done it? I think Senor Fac's done it this time, so this is where the soft tyres are now going to start not being as quick as the mediums. So fantastic move from Senor Fac, clean and great. Much better than school, fair enough. Clean racing between these two. Pyro does the later break, tries to hang it around the outside, not able to this time, and Senor Fac keeps third position. Going further back, Prime Coil's dropped right into the back of Ara's clutches again. Prime Coil's, I think, made a little bit of an error of that. As we come charging down the hill, Aro tries to go around the outside, doesn't work, catches the later apexes, offsets Prime, excuse me. Come up the hill, round to the right. Aro does have a look, he does lunge up the inside, gets it stopped, no contact made. Prime, does he manage to get the switch back? No, he's not able to get the switch back. Prime's tyres are pretty much cooked. Look at his front right compared to Aro's. So going further back, we've got Claws. I want to have a look at that. So Mortal actually managed to get the better exit than Claws, but Claws just hung it around the outside. And that was a lovely move from these two. Lovely clean bit of battling and racing from these guys. So Mortal on the mediums, Prime on the softs. Mortal's tyres are looking obviously a lot healthier, and also Mortal can probably push these tyres now a lot more. So we've got a lovely long queue for P6 at the moment. The grid's starting to spread itself out. Oi oi. Yogi yogi yogi. Oh, going further back, who's this? We got Ross. Ross is all over the back of Turbo as well, so Ross in the next 2 laps, if he can get past Turbo, he'll get a reverse pole position, which will do Ross's evening very, very well. Going further forward, Swabby is all over the back of Mortal as we come over the top of the hill, plunging down into the long left-hander. We're going to stay on this because it's really hard to tell who's who. Prime goes really wide, his tyres are now really suffering. Swabby goes up the inside of Mortal, so a fantastic move on the exit of that long left-hander as we come down the hill. Swabby does have a little look at Prime, not able to make anything this time around. Does slightly compromise himself to Mortal. Prime's gone to the right-hand side straight away. This is going to push him out. Claus is defending the inside. Swabby's going to try and attack the inside. That's actually worked for him. So Swabby's gone up the inside of Prime. Prime's about to lose that to his teammate as well. So Prime's tyre choice and pushing these tyres really, really hard in the early stages has not worked out for him. He's now going to start plummeting down the grid as he's struggling to keep up with the pace at the moment. Here comes Turbo. Prime sits in the middle of the circuit, defends the line nicely. Steady on Ross. So Turbo's got to be careful here, because if he gets sucked into a battle too much with Prime, Ross is going to try and grab the pair of them and then disappear off into 9th position. around the long left-hander. This is where the tyres really get killed, around these long, fast corners. This corner and the next quick one. Turbo trying a different line, trying to get Prime to offset himself, but Turbo's offset himself to Ross, and Ross has not got the advantage. Ross has got the run. Ross is going to have a look up the inside. Turbo defends. The slam Prime just a little bit of breathing room, but it's not going to be much, and probably not going to be enough. Excuse me. Turbo is all up the inside. He's managed to stick a nose up the inside going through mid-corner, so Turbo's now got a nice position. Prime's still in the battle. Ross does send up the inside. Lovely stuff. There's a little bit of contact going through the pinch point. So Prime loses out to Tap as well. Tap potentially going to try and contest Ross as well. Doesn't contest Ross this time around. Ross firmly slams the door shut. Looking further ahead, Senor Fax managed to get himself back up into second position. Whether they did a position swap, I'm not sure. So we're going to go forward. We're going to check out the rest of this race. Mortal goes up the inside of Swavi into the final corner. Great move to Swavi, get the switch back. No, he doesn't. Mortal plants it on the apex. Sits the car nicely. Through goes Mortal. Further ahead, we got Aro versus Pyro. Pyro's dropped down into Aro's grips now as we're coming on to the last lap. Pyro's tyres are shot. Aro's got a little bit more meat into them, so he's going to try and use it. He's going to go around the outside of the exit of turn 1. What a move. I want to go back and watch that one again. Initially I was thinking the switchback here would be good, but no, Aro just hangs it on the outside. Pyro leaves him just enough room, and just enough. It was all that Pyro needed, so Pyro's now up to 4th. Pyro's down to 5th, but still a fantastic result for Pyro at the moment. Claws going up the hill at the moment, being challenged by Mortal. Swavi's not really anywhere in contention at the moment. Oh, Claws gets it slightly wrong, but there's Pyro up ahead. Pyro, if anything, might lose out, and he's got a half-second penalty, and it's really slow as well. His tyres are dead. So Claws can capitalise. Can Mortal capitalise as we go down the hill? He can. Does Swavi send it? Swavi does send it, and he sends it and gets the apex as well for the second part of the corner. So Pyro's race is coming apart at the seams. But we want to go further forward just briefly. Arcus, what an absolute drive from him. Led pretty much almost from lap 1. Set the fastest lap. He's still got some tyre left as well. Morning. As Arcus comes around the final corner. Apologies, I've not really shown you too much because you've kind of been on your own. As down the start-finish straight for the final time in the sprint race. As he takes victory here and takes pole position. We then got Senor Fac with a good damage control race. We then got Deco in 3rd. Aro in a fantastic race considering where he was at one point in 4th. We then got Claws with a really good position in 5th. Mortal in 6th. Swavi in 7th. We got Turbo in 8th. Pyro in 9th. Ross taking 10th. We then got Tap in 11th. Mason in 12th. Andor in 13th. We got Scotty in 14th. And then bringing up the rear on a set of dead softs is Prime in 15th. So there we have it. That was actually a really good sprint race. I enjoyed that one. Apologies if I did miss half the action. If anyone wants to go and get a cup of tea whilst we wait, we'll crack on. This is going to probably take the same amount of time. Do 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 do. Minutes, introduce me in the next race. Ah, did you join in the feature? Aha, okay, alright, I will. I shall. Right, how I will introduce you, how do you want anything specific, or should I just go this thing has appeared? So, yeah, unfortunately it's part of streaming and also being fucking rural and internet's terrible and slow. Alright, okay. Alright. I wouldn't say that. Oh, come on, GT. It doesn't take that long. There we go. Right. So, strategies here. The strategy here, I think, was a one-stop if my memory serves me right. So a lot of people will be doing the medium-hard or the hard-medium strategy. Excuse me. So in first we got Ross, we then got Pyro in second, Turbo in third, Swavi in fourth on the mediums. So Swavi could have an early advantage against the top three. We got Mortal in fifth on the hards, Claws in sixth on the hards, Aro in seventh on the hards, so both AMGs doing the same strategy. Deco in eighth on hard. Deco's got a hard on in eighth position. Senor Fax got is on the mediums in ninth, so the Lamborghinis are doing a split strategy. This will be interesting. Arcus bringing up the top 10 is on the hard tyres. And then got Tap in 11th on the hards. Mason in 12th on the softs. Did you forget to switch tyres, or is that intentional? We'll find out. Andor in 13th on the hard tyres. We then got Scotty in 14th on the hard tyres. Prime in 15th on the hard tyres. And then we've got... oh, yes. Okay, I was about to be... oh, yes. The Lord has arrived with the Z4. We've then got... he's asked me to do a very special introduction. The worst driver of ALR in history. The most dirtiest driver known to mankind, and also the most handsome. We got Kanata. So yeah, we got Kanata on the hards. Now, oh, by the way, good luck with the hards. That thing is awful on the hards. Anyway, let's get cracking. So, as Ross takes us away down the start-finish straight. Ooh. Swavi's already having to defend from Mortal. I don't think Swavi got away quite as well as everybody else. Turbo... excuse me. I don't think Turbo did either. What? Pyro's made a good getaway and a good first corner, so Mortal's already putting pressure on Swavi. Let's go a bit further back. Arcus has got a great getaway as well. Senor Fax having to defend from him. Tap is doing alright. Mason at the moment doing okay. Andor doing alright as well. Scotty's... Kanata's already going up the inside of Scotty. Oh, I missed the good sound of that thing. Okay, right, I missed something because I was too busy looking through the rest of the grid. Right, let's come back here. Ross defends the inside from Pyro. Pyro, does he go round the outside on this long left-hander as we come down the hill? Pyro's very, very high, very wide. Does he get the switchback? He does get the switchback. He gets a faster line. Ross unable to block and defend it. And by the time we start dipping down the hill, Ross has lost first position. Pyro's up. And Pyro is up to first. Pyro is leading a race and he's not crashed yet. I am gobsmacked. Is this the day that Pyro wins his first race since Season 8 from, to my knowledge? I really hope so. Turbo defends the inside and also attacks Ross as well. Ross is not having a best of opening laps at the moment. He's about to be overtaken. He has been overtaken by Swavi. Oh no, he might just hold on to it. Swavi's on the medium tyres. No, Swavi backs out of it. Excuse me, but Swavi has got pressure from Claws behind him as well. Jesus Christ, there's too many lights. I might actually jump on board. There's too many lights. Ooh, careful, because that might be considered as a little bit of argy-bargy. So, Senor Fact... no, excuse me, Swavi, excuse me. Goes up the inside of Ross, gets to position. Claws has gone up the inside, and here comes Senor Fact, who's made up a good couple of positions to try and get Ross. Ross has dropped down 4 positions in 1 lap. We got Senor Fact all over the back of Ross. Going further back, we got Aro in 7th. We got Arcus in 8th, having made a fantastic start. Mortal in 9th. Mason in 10th. Deco in 11th. Oh, Mason's got the run on Mortal. Does he have the gap in the tyres and the space to go around the outside? Senor Fact has gone very, very wide. Arcus has tried to stick his nose up the inside. Mason just about holds it on and does go around the outside of Mortal. What an absolute lovely move from him going further forward. Arcus is all over the back of Haro. Senor Fact's going around the outside of Ross. Does that work as we follow these two? Those two ahead just about keep it clean. Senor Fact does go around the outside of Ross. Ross has now got his teammate to contend with. So Ross not having a great opening lap at all, is going further back. Okay, there's too much going on back here. So Mortal's managed to get past Mason again as we're going too wide into this very, very tight hairpin. Is there a little bit of argy-bargy? No, but Mason does get the better of Arcus, who's been left out dry out. Aro, Mortal and Mason are going 3 wide down here. This is not going to work, boys. Mason backs out of it, but Arcus capitalises on the back out done by Mason. Ara's now off into the grass, so Ara's now going to be susceptible to Mortal. Is Mortal going to try and hang it around the outside as Mason goes up the inside of Arcus? Ara does manage to hold the inside. Mortal tries to go around the outside. It's now going to be a drag race between these two. The Corvette's going to win. It's going to be a drag race between the GTR and the Peugeot. The GTR should win it, but now the Peugeot's got the slipstream of the AMG in front of him as we go around the left-hander. I'm going to jump forward in the mix. There's people moving all over the place. Aro's now lost out to Arcus, who's about to lose out to Mason as well. So Mortal's now going to disappear. Let's go further forward because I spent too much time back there. Ross is in 6th. Senor Fact in 5th. Claus is in 4th. Turbo's in 3rd. Swavi's in 2nd. Fantastic start from Swavi. He's now challenging Pyro for 1st. We're going to stay here and watch this for just a couple of more moments. See if Swavi can close up onto the back of Pyro. It's going okay. Let's jump back a little bit. Anything going on back here? Oh, there's a spin. Aro, what's happened to you? So Mason's gone off on the long left-hander. Oh, that was close. Nearly chopped the nose off Andor's car. Let's go around to the left. Does he just get it slightly wrong? He does get it just ever so slightly wrong and just being reinforced by Andor's. Aro now drops right to the back of the grid. Prime's down in 15th, trying to make up some spots. Deco's really struggling on the hard here. As Kanata in the Z4 is trying to defend and go around the outside of Tap. That's not going to work this time around. I've forgotten how loud that Z4 is in the replays. I love the sound of that thing. It's an absolute pig to drive, but it's an awesome car to listen to. So Kanata trying to go around the outside of Tap on the final corner. That's going to leave him susceptible to Prime. And Kanata nearly make contact. as we come around the final corner. Kanata keeps 13th at the moment. He's trying to chase down Tap for 12th. Let's go further forward as Hunter versus Mason, the two teammates in the Peugeots, are going at it, going through turn 1. Mason's softs are lasting okay. He's probably got about another lap. Probably come in at the end of this lap to really minimise the damage done on positions. But going further forward, when did this happen? Right, let's stay back here because there's a change for the lead. So Pyro struggling, getting a little bit squiggly on exit as we come up to the final corner of lap 3, and Savage just sends it up the inside. Clean, simple. Nothing Pyro can do about that this time. So Pyro now down to 2nd. And then got Turbo in 3rd, defending from Senor Fac in 4th. Senor Fac's trying to push back through the grid, push back up. Senor Fac's having a brilliant drive in that Lamborghini. Then we got Claus in 5th as we go up, charging it up the hill, excuse me. Is it light enough? Let's give it a go. So Senor Fax managed to close up a lot to Turbo as we come down the hill. The Supra might have a little bit of an advantage here, but maybe not too much. The straight's not quite that big. Senor Fact just sends it up the inside. An absolute fantastic move done by the Lamborghini driver. And now here comes Claus in the Porsche. Turbo was offset a bit, so he's now closed the gap right up. Turbo's now defending the inside from Claus. Is he also going to try and send it up the inside? No, he's not. He's going to try. He's tried to, but he's backed out of it. Turbo then blocks Claus's switchback, which was a great bit of driving done by the Supra driver. As going further up, looking further up the road, as Claus drives off-road, we got Senor Fact challenging Pyro, and he's done it in the last corner, excuse me. So Senor Fact has had an absolute monster drive in 4 laps and managed to get himself from about 9th or 8th on the grid now up to 2nd. So great drive from him. Turbo's managed to clear Claus. Ross is in 6th, waking up and starting to close up on Claus now. Going further back, we've got Arcus, who's got Mortal all over the back of him. Mason is staying out on his dead softs. That's a mistake in my opinion. I would have pitted this lap. You made up some good spots. You made up some time. You fought some people, but anyway, it's his decision. Arcus managed to pull away a little bit from Mortal. Going further back, Scotty is going to challenge up the inside of the long left-hander. So Mason's softs are really dropping off the cliff now. They're gone. There's now going to be puncher / understeer central. Be careful on the rejoin. So Tap goes up to 10th. Andor goes up to 11th. Prime is about to overtake Mason as well. Going further. What happened to you? You were doing so well. Oh. What happened to you, Kanata? So Kanata dropped a couple of positions, lost out to Deco. As we come charging up the hill, flash of sparks from Prime as he goes over the curbs. Ooh. Oh, that's what happened. It was just a tiny little tap. And GT physics took over, and hence where you got damage. Interesting. So, going further forward, Mason out on the dead soft tyres, which, like I said, I think personally it's a mistake, but that's my personal view. Now, Mortal's caught right up to Arcus again. Let's stay here for a little bit. Arcus defends the hairpin. It's a lovely camera angle to view this. Shame you can't go over to the right just a little bit more. Oh, Arcus. Let's try that view. Just a little bit too happy on the throttle. Just a little too happy on the throttle. And Arcus dumps it all on his own. Careful on the rejoin. doesn't collect anybody else. Can Aro capitalise? Aro does capitalise, he does go for it. So great move from Aro. Unfortunate for Arcus, who was actually in a really good spot. Going further forward, Andor nearly loses it on the exit of that corner. Yeah, Mason's right at the back of the grid. He should stop. Good, he does stop. Right, let's go back forward because we've got ourselves a battle for the lead at the moment. We've got Senor Fak versus Swavi as we come charging down the start-finish straight. Swavi defends the inside line. Senor Fak holds it out wide. Senor Fak then gets the later apex. Does the switchbacks. Swavi can't do a thing about it. And Senor Fak completes the charge in 6 laps and goes from about 9th on the grid up to 1st. Is on the same compounder tyre as Swavi. Swavi's not done though. Swavi comes out, challenges Senor Fak. Senor Fak defends the inside line, then goes wide. Can Swavi stick his nose up the inside? No, he can't. These two battling is perfect for Pyro. These two battling are going to kill off their tyres quite early, and this is going to be bring Pyro right back into contention. But Senor Fak just has a slightly better pace advantage at the moment in that Lamborghini. He and that Lamborghini are just one at the moment. Can't really be touched by anything. Swavi trying his absolute best, but I think he's realised that Senor Fak's not really going to get too much closer. So Pyro in 3rd position at the moment, being chased down by Turbo and by Claws. So we're going to stay up here for just a little bit. Claws all over the back of Turbo. Can Claws make anything happen? Turbo goes slightly tighter in the corner, and Claws opens it up more. He gets a little sideways on exit, but he's close enough now to potentially challenge. Going into turn 1. Is he going to throw a move just to offset Turbo? No, Turbo does come across quite early though, so let's stay here for another couple of corners because I think Claws is starting to smell blood. Around to the right, around to the left. Mike Turbo's opened up that gap. Let's have a little look through the rest of the grid. He'll be a good one to watch. This is where we'll stay for a little bit. We got Tap versus, oh, you got Andor versus Tap versus Prime, excuse me. Prime with a straight line speed advantage, Tap and Andor with a corner advantage. We go around the left-hander. Can Prime use the straight line speed of that Corvette to get into a contention position? No, not this time. Looking further back, we got Deco, Arcus and Aro. Arcus has managed to get back past Aro recently. And then we got Kanata, who's dropped off the back of this pack just a little bit, and then we got Mason, who's pitted. What's he gone on to? The hards. He might try and do a very, very long stint, but we'll keep an eye on that. Going further forward, Arcus is all over the back of Deco. Deco's not having a great race at the moment. He's not having a great opening stint. He was in the top 10, now he's down to 12th. Right to the left. Everyone using the grass and just a little bit more. Nothing going on up here. Let's go back forward. Something's happened here. When did you two swap? Oh, no apologies, it's always been like that. I thought you two swapped. So Andor's managed to pull out a gap to Tap just a little bit. Prime's going to try and use the straight line speed of that Corvette to slowly catch up. I don't think it's going to happen this lap. Going further forward, what else is going on? Ross is still in 6th. Great spot for him. Here we go. We'll stay up here. Claws is now in an attacking position for Turbo. This is going to be, again, great news for Pyro. This is going to allow Pyro just to escape a little bit whilst these two battle each other. Let's jump on board with this because I don't think the cinematic camera angles are great at this track for battles. Turbo going over the curbs. Claws gets a really, really good run. Let's go round to the right. Pyro's not completely out of it yet. Turbo does go very, very deep and tight tight in. Does Claus get the switchback? He does get alongside. Pyro does Pyro things and cocks it up. So Pyro's now dropped down 2 position. This is for podium position now. Oh, as Turbo nearly clatters into Claus. Claus manages to get away with it. Here comes Ross. Where's the draw? Ross has been brought into this. Excuse me. I'll come to that comment in just a moment. If that was a comment. I don't think it was a comment. So, Pyro's trying to capitalise. Pyro and Turbo are too busy squabbling with Claus, and there goes Ross, who just does a double overtake. Says, thank you very much, I'll have it. So Ross back up to P4. Claus is up to 3rd. Great race from Claus at the moment. Oh, Turbo's gone in. Interesting, the Turbo's gone into the pits on lap 9. What strategy are you doing? So Pyro's front right tyre is not looking too great at the moment. Ross is looking very good. Claus is looking very good. The medium tyres are looking okay at the moment. Come further back. Mortal was caught right up to the back of these two, so again we're going to have the battle of the Titans that we did yesterday, slash last week, slash last year. So these two are going to be quite close on track. I'm going to keep an eye on these two going further back. We've got Scotty, who's doing a great job at the moment, up into 7th, Andor up into 8th, Tap up into 9th, Prime in 10th position at the moment, still chasing down Tap, Deco up to 11th, Arcus up to 12th, Ara up to 13th, Turbo comes out on the mediums but no fuel, so he's doing a 2-stop, and crucially he comes out ahead of Kanata. Going further back forward, let's find ourselves a bit of action. We'll stay in this area and this proximity at the moment. Claus has disappeared. Claus is just doing in another dimension at the moment. Ooh, everyone comes off right off there, uses all the carbon a little bit more as Pyro is having to defend a little bit from Mortal. Mortal trying to go around the outside. That's not going to work this time. Was it him or Prime that tried it earlier? Ooh, who spun? Aro, again. What's happened to you, my friend? Just too much grass and couldn't quite hold it. So Aro not having a fantastic race at all. Just found the barrier at the end. It was coming up to the end of lap 9. Scotty comes in. Now, in the midst of all that, let's come back and watch this. So, 2 Supras doing a very, very similar strategy. Mortal uses the straight line speed of that Corvette to get alongside Pyro. Let's jump on board. And Mortal does send it up the inside. Pyro doesn't really defend it too much. I think Pyro wants to focus more on his own race than try and battle other people. So, Pyro's lost out to 6th position. Mortal's gone up to 5th. Ross has got better tyres than the pair of them put together. He's in 4th at the moment. Claus is in 3rd. He's got really good tyres as well. Swabby's in 2nd. Ballerina's was in 1st, now in 2nd, now about to be 3rd. So Senor Fat having made a fantastic charge 4 laps ago, now dumped it. Oh, careful. So you can see the puff of smoke from the Ballerina. I want to see, what does he do? He just comes straight across. Oh, careful. That was very close. And there goes Senor Fat. There goes Senor Fat. Careful on the rejoin. Probably would have been better for you to stay on the inside then, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. Mortal's now been offset because of that. And here comes Pyro. Pyro's going to try and come around the outside. This has promoted Ross up to 3rd. Mortal still holds 4th position. Pyro nearly dumps it in 5th. Senor Fak is now dropping off the back of this group quite a lot. He's having to be very, very careful. He's got no rear tyre left. Oh, very well saved. So something I learned last season when racing the Lamborghinis is when the Lamborghini's rear tyre goes and it's starting to drop off, good luck holding it. Who pits? So Claus pits, Swabby pits, Senior Fact has to be out there. Swabby, Senior Fact pits, Mortal and Ross stays out. Who else pits? Andor pits. Kanata pits. Scotty stays out. Deco stays out. RO stays out, and here comes Mason bringing up the rear. So Ross is currently back in the lead at the moment. He's got Mortal behind him. We got Tap at the moment was in third, now in fourth. Prime's finally gotten past Tap. We then got Arcus in fifth. We got Turbo at the moment on the freshest set of tyres out of everybody. Here comes Claus. He's got a set of mediums on, so he's going to go to the end on the mediums. Pyro's on the mediums. He's going to go to the end. Scotty's on the mediums. He's going to go to the end on what he's on as well. Excuse me. Swabby's on the hards with a full tank. Interesting. Oh, unless some of these guys might be two-stopping. Oh, very well saved. Right, I want to go further forward because these two have caught each other up. So, we'll stay with these two at the moment. Does Ross come in? No, he doesn't. Mortal could potentially come in and potentially look at the undercut because Mortal's at the moment, he's lapping quicker than Ross by 0.3 of a second on that previous lap. So potentially Mortal could come in and look at an undercut. Right, Prime in third position. Tap is in fourth. He's got pressure now from Arcus in fifth position. Arcus has got a lot less tyre health than Tap. Let's stay with these guys at the moment. Arcus does find room to go up on the inside. He does make it work. So Tap conceives, gives Arcus that's fourth position. Tap's now dropped down to fifth. We got Turbo just behind him. He's just gone purple in sector, what? Sector 1 or sector 2? I think it was sector 2. We then got Claus just behind him. We then got Pyro in 8th, being chased down by Scotty as well. Move further forward, excuse me. Mortal still all over the back of Ross. Ross doing a fantastic job at the moment. Who comes in? Mortal does come in, so Ross stays out. Prime comes in. Arcus stays out. Tap stays out. I'm just going to sit here for a moment. Let's just sit here for just a second. Expecting most of these guys to stay out now. Deco's yet to stop. He's got Andor and he's got RO all over the back of him. So let's stay here for a moment. Ross and RO are yet to stop. Also, so is Deco. As we go up the hill, over the crest. Does anyone look at a move going into this long left-hander? No. Arrow does go a slightly wider line in, keeps it higher. No, but there is a move. Excuse me, there is a move. Oh, lovely move. Lovely, held on the inside. Don't really catch. I think you kind of catch Deco a little bit off guard there. So lovely move from Andro as we come down the hill for 9th position on Deco. Deco's got to be a little bit careful now because that rear tyre is starting to go just a little bit. Let's have a little look further back. Senior Facts got Mason all over the back of him. Mason, bear in mind he pitted on lap 5. So Mason's going to look at potentially going on to about lap... I reckon he's probably going to go on to about lap 17 then pit for mediums at the end, I think. Going further forward, Mortal is all over the back of Aro. Can Aro hold off Mortal at the moment? Does he come into pit? No, Aro stays out. So does Ross. Who did pit? Taps pitted. So Aro defends the inside line. Mortal comes all the way across. Can Aro hold the inside line and hold it? Hold it. Does he? Does he just about hold it? But Mortal does sneak his nose up on the inside at the very, very last minute. And at the end, so through goes Mortal for 10th position. Aro's now dropped down to 11th. I don't think there's any coming back from that. I think Aro's tyres are just a bit too far gone. I'm expecting him to come in soon. Senior Facts now going to start chasing down him at Aro as well. Mason has got Prime all over the back of him, who's pit. Looks like he has just pitted. So Mason under pressure already from Prime cores. We come down the hill. Prime brakes a little bit later, fresher tyres, throws it up in the inside. Fantastic move from the Corvette driver. Mason now down to 14th. Kanata not doing too shabby in the Z4. And then we got Ross as carries on. Ross is going very, very deep into this race. Arcus in 2nd position. His tyres going to start depleting quite soon. And then got Turbo in 3rd, who pitted lap 9? Yeah, lap 8, lap 9. So he's going to be coming in soon. We then got Claws all over the back of him. Let's stay up here. Someone's just pitted further back. We'll have a look at who that is in just a moment. Go over the hill. Turbo's managed to use the speed of that super just to eke out a bit more of a gap. Claws just sends it into the apex. Trying to close that gap. He's starting to close it up just a little bit. Arcus dropping off a little bit, off the pace a little bit. He's starting to get a bit closer to Turbo and to Claws. Claws gets an absolutely fantastic middle section of that chicane. To come around the right-hander. Turbo tries to defend, but that was a bit sloppy. So Claus is already alongside. Hang on. Claus is alongside enough. Turbo keeps coming across. Why? I want to see this from his point of view. It opens up the steering quite a bit. It's just sloppy from the pair of them in my view. I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but Turbo knew Claus was there. Turbo knew he was there from the headlights on the ground, let alone the radar, and also the deltas up here. So, really, in my personal view, what he should have done was, this point, you've already pushed Claus right out. Well, I say pushed. You've already persuaded Claus right out here. Get over this bit. Open up the corner. Open up the corner to get the switchback. Do you know if this was reported in Stewart's? So I'm interested. But yeah, just in my view, I think that was a bit sloppy from. But I don't know. But yeah, personally, in my view, I think that was a little bit sloppy. So Turbo now very offset on the final corner. Through goes his teammate. So his race has just gone from bad to worse. Arcus comes in. Ross stays out. Ross has probably got to pit this lap. So Claus now up into second. He's probably going to pit as well. 10 laps left. He'd probably pit for fuel and medium tyres, and that'll go him to the end. Pyro probably will do the same. We then got Scotty. I reckon Scotty and Turbo are going to do similar. So Harvey could be in a very good position here to take a victory. Maybe not. That's not going to help him, so he can hit. Through goes Andro. No, fair enough. I mean, I know it sounds a little bit harsh and critical, but I personally feel that was a little bit sloppy. But yeah, I'm not Stuart. I'm not going to say yeah it was sloppy. It should be this. No, I'm not. I'm just giving my opinion. Because what Turbo could have done was, like Swabby just did, open up the corner. You stay. That means then you stay on the inside, and he could have just swooped around the outside. Or as you went wide, he tucked in tight, got the switchback. But it is what it is. Going further forward, Pyro's got himself a half-second penalty with Scotty just behind him. Ross finally comes into the pits. Klaus stays out. Pyro stays out. Oh yeah, well, Pyro did pit earlier. What you could have done, there's not really much you could have done in that situation because of where you were and how you were positioned. I don't personally feel like there was much you could have done. I mean, you're all the way to the left. The cars were all careful, saying you're back, you nearly lost it there again. There was a car's width given. It was more, from the perspective I saw, it just looked like Turbo kept wanting to turn across. Whether there was initial contact and Turbo just lost control of the car and he just kept swerving around and kept hitting you, I don't know. Yeah, without going back and really analysing it, which is going to take too long and I'm not here to do that, I don't know. But going back to the race. Is there a battle? There is a bit of a battle up here. Let's stay here. So Turbo has to come into the pits this time. So Turbo takes a very tight line going into there. So whether Turbo was trying to do his normal line going into the corner a couple of laps ago, I don't know. Right, so Turbo's about to run out of fuel, so he has to come into pit. Pyro's got a pit as well, he could probably do another lap. Scotty could do another lap, but it would be incredibly slow because... So both Supras come in, Pyro stays out. Okay. Who's this back here? Ross has come out in 10th, ahead of Arcus critically. We then got Kanata in 12th. We got Tap in 13th. Kanata stays out. There come the two Supras. Scotty with a 3-second penalty. Ouch. Swavy's come out as well, so Swavy's going to go to the end of what he's got. Scotty's just got right in the middle of this battle. He's got 3-second penalty and he's come out in traffic. That's not going to do him any good. But Scotty's got the better tyres as he tries to make a move and basically just pushes Kanata straight off the track. Oh dear. Oh dear. Through goes Turbo. A lot better this time. Yeah. I think that was a bit more of a I need to get past now type of move, and I don't think that's the way that Scotty wanted to do it. Yes, he's got a 3-second penalty. That's going to cost him a lot of time anyway, but one of those, again, I don't know. So Klaus comes into the pits. Ross has now got Arcus all over the back of him. Ross defends the middle. Andor comes into the pits as well. So to Senor Fak. Okay, so a few drivers trying to stop, seeing if they can get that to work. Pyro comes in as well. Claus should just appear. There he is. So Claus has just come out of the pits. Excuse me, in 5th position. So Claus is in a very, very good spot. We've got Swavi in 6th, Senor Fak in 7th, just ahead of Turbo in 8th. Tap in 8th, excuse me, Turbo in 9th, Scotty in 10th after serving his 3-second penalty. We then got Andor in 11th, we got Pyro in 12th, Deco in 13th, Mason in 14th, Aro in 15th, and then Kanata just going into the pits. And just coming out now, so let's go back forward. Mortal is our new race leader currently with Prime in 2nd. These two have got a stop yet. We then got Ross in 3rd, being chased very, very closely by Arcus in 4th, so potentially we're looking at a net P1, P2 here. Oh, Arcus just about gets his nose up on the inside. I think he backed out of that. So Arcus all about fair play and fair game. I think and believe he backed out of that initial attack, as this time there was a bit more contact. What's going on here, boys? So both drivers on the mediums. I don't think Arcus was expecting Ross to hold such a tight line as he went through the right-hander. So Arcus again backs out, allows Ross to keep the position and hold on. But this is just costing these two a lot of time, because there's Claus. Claus can see those two. Swavi's in 4th, Mortal's now in 5th, Senor Fax in 6th, Turbo's in Taps in 7th, Turbo's in 8th, chasing down these two. Scotty 9th, Andor in 10th, Prime's in 11th. Pyro's in 12th, Deco's in 13th, Mason's in 14th, Aro's in 15th, and then bringing up the rear is Kanata. So everyone's done their final stops. This is now a race to the end. I'm interested in this one. These two have got to be careful when they're fighting, because if they're not careful, they're going to bring Claus into this. There he is. He's only one corner behind going through that S section, and he's catching up quite quickly. 36.5 on his out lap. These two did a racing lap of a 36.9. As again, Arcus goes up the inside, counter camera angle. I'm just going to do this when we get... I think I'm just going to stick with this from now on. So Arcus does go up the inside, side by side going through this S section. That's kind of worked out, but here comes Claus, who's got a momentum. As Ross defends the inside, tries to defend quite well. He does a very good job. Still allows a car's width, and through goes Claus up into second position. Ross has just lost out big time here. So Ross down to 3rd. Let's stay with these two just for a moment before we jump back forward again. Let's jump forward. Ross starting to closing on Claus. Claus is in second position. I believe it's his best position this whole season, in a contention to actually potentially win this race. That's not going to help his case as he goes almost right off the track. Plunges down the hill. Round to the left, that's not going to help his case either. He's just lost the rear on entry. Excuse me. He's all over the place going through the S curve. F-spends, and now Ross is all over the back of him. Arcus can just take off now. Claus defends the inside. Ross goes out wide. Can Ross get the switch back? just about does. Claws, that's what I was referring to. If Turbo done that, that would have been a lovely battle to behold. But again, what happened. You can't change it now. No one can. So whilst these two are fighting, here comes Swavi. So Swavi in the wheel tracks and in the slipstream of Ross. We then got Mortal in the back of this with the fastest car down the straight of them all. Swavi defends the inside line, forcing Mortal out wide. Ross has gone a little high as well, gets the later apex, both these two does. Swavi goes wide on the second half of this corner. This allows Mortal to get right into the exhaust pipe of Swavi. Does back off a little bit as we're going through these S-bends. Claus is now starting to take off a little bit. Ross breaks the toe while sweeping to the left and comes out to the racing line, which he can do. Swavi off onto the grass. This is going to allow Mortal to get alongside as we come down the hill. Late on the brakes as we go up the inside. Just about makes it. Whoa, careful. You nearly collected yourself with Swavi there. So Mortal riskily cuts across ahead of Swavi, going through the second part of the S-bench. Does somehow make it work though. Going further back, Senor Fax starting to catch up to this top group as P2 to P5 are trying to battle it out at the moment. I want to go through the rest of the grid quickly whilst it is a little bit peaceful. So Scotty in 9th, Turbo's in 7th, Taps in 8th. We've got Prime in 10th, running off the top 10 at the moment. Pyro in 11th, he's starting to try and close down on Prime at the moment as Prime's tyres are looking pretty good. I'm not sure if Pyro can do it this time. Who's late into the pits? Deco. Deco's late into the pits. Okay, that's interesting. That's going to push him right to the back of the pack. Aro in 13th, Mason in 14th. Kanata might be able to grab Deco here. Let's stay on board with him just for a moment. No, he's not able to. So Kanata's not able to get past Deco. Deco's just gone into the softs with no fuel. So interesting strategy done there. So Claus is starting to take off now. Claus is going to start trying to close down the gap to Arcus. I think Arcus is doing too consistent of a lap time at the moment. It's got too big of a lead for Claus to really do anything. Mortal and Ross are having a good battle. Let's jump on board with these two. So Ross gets a little bit squiggly and loose on the exit. This just allows Mortal to come straight past him before we even hit the apex of that little kink. Mortal goes tight on the entry just to block off Ross in case he was having another idea. So Mortal in 3rd position, fantastic result from him regardless this race. Go around the left, go up towards the final corner. I think really this is the close. Oh no, there's another battle going further back here. Let's stay back here. We've got Tap versus Scotty versus Prime as we come around the final corner. We've got two straight line giants versus a tiny little R4C. The 4C, sorry. Tap doing a fantastic job keeping these two at bay. Prime's closing right up onto the back of Scotty. We go through the S section, over the top of the hill, plummeting back down again. Prime just sends it up the inside along this long left-hander. Scotty's got to give him space. Does give him space, but Scotty's now got the run. Goes up the inside. There's a little bit of argy-bargy. We should come plummeting down the hill. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? Prime's going to be latest on the brakes. Does he make the corner though? He does. So Scotty's losing out a little bit. It gets loose on the exit, so that's going to seal the deal done. I shouldn't be surprised at this point. Oh, Pyro, what have you done? Yeah, that's it. I'm surprised you didn't get rear damage from that. So, Pyro doing Pyro things, he seems to be having the same time. I seem to be having his season last time I commentated Tier 2, whereas I keep spinning out. Now, oh, very well saved. It's just going to allow Aro through. This might allow Aro through. Is Aro just going to send it? It is going to send it. Great move from Aro. He doesn't keep hold of it. He does keep hold of it. Great move from Aro. Pyro drops right back down. Going further forward, we've got Prime versus Tap. Prime is caught right up to the back of Tap very, very quickly. Those tyres squealing in protest as we come onto the, as we're on the penultimate lap, as we go charging up the hill. Tap doing an absolute wonderful job of keeping the keeping hold of 8th position at the moment. Prime does try another lunge into the left-hander. Prime using more of the road than Tap at the moment. Tap keeping it a bit tighter. Careful. Well controlled by both drivers. Looking further forward, we got Ross versus Swabby versus Fak versus potentially Turbo as well. Going further back, we got Scott. He's just been passed by Andal. Let's have a look at this. Scott, I don't think he's having a great second half of the year. His tyres are gone. Andor just goes around the outside on the hairpin and moves pretty much sealed before we even got to the hairpin as well. So fantastic move from the Peugeot driver. Going further forward, Tap dealing with the pressure absolutely superbly. What can Prime do as we go on to the final lap of this race going further forward? Can Ross hold on to 4th position for one more lap as he's got Swabby breathing down his neck, and he's got Senor Fak not exactly far behind him either. Swabby tries to stick his nose up the inside. Prime not close enough this time to make any sort of moves done. Swabby trying everything possible to get Ross off that racing line. Ross, how does he play this? He does go defensive. Does he open up the corner? He does open up the corner a little bit. There's a little bit of a contact as we go into the corner. Ross holds the tighter line. Manages to keep the position. Swabby's got the overall exit and the overall run though. Here comes Senor Fak. Can Senor Fak capitalise? Ross trying to get over onto the racing line. Senor Fak takes a slightly different line. Can he capitalise? No, Swabby does. Swabby disappears. Ross now down to 5th. Going for... Oh no, what's happened to Tap? Let's go back and watch these two. So Prime's got a mass overspeed compared to Tap as we're going down the hill. It's still side by side. Tap brakes a little bit later. Just about makes the corner. Prime sort of goes across it. Tap then loses it all by himself as he hits the corner. So Tap's race is now pretty much over and done. Prime's got a half-second penalty. Going further forward. Let's go further all the way up to the front because we're coming up to the final corner now. Arcus on pretty much a dead tyre. Claus has done an absolute hell of a run, but it's not been good enough as Arcus comes around the final corner. No spin, nothing. Solid as a rock as he comes down the start-finish straight for the final time in the feature to take a double victory here in Japan. With Claus in second, an absolutely phenomenal race from him. Mortal in third, a fantastic race from Mortal. We then got Swabby in 4th. Senor Fak just about gets Ross on the line, who's in 5th. We've got Turbo in Senor Fak in 5th, Ross in 6th, Turbo in 7th, Prime in 8th, Andor in 9th. Great race from him. Aro in 10th. Great race considering some of the troubles and hard troubles he's had. Mason in 11th. Again, a good race considering he started on the soft tyres as well. Tap in 12th, just about holds off 12th to Deco in 13th. We got Pyro in 14th on a dead tyre. And then we got Kanata bringing up the rear in 15th. We have lost somebody and I haven't noticed. Who do we lose? Scotty. When did we lose Scotty? So after that really strong race from Arcus, who had a double victory here in Japan, we got Senor Fak still in the lead by 39 points. We then got Arcus in second, Tap in third, Mortal in fourth, and Swavi in fifth. Ross and Aro, who were potentially contesting for that second and third position, have dropped down to seventh and eighth, with Turbo taking up sixth position. On the constructor side, the Lamborghini Hurricanes have reached the 200 point mark, with the Alfa Romeos with 165 points in second and the AMGs with 153 in third. The Supras, who were potentially in contention, have now dropped down to fourth with 140 points, who are tied in fourth with the Corvettes, with the GTRs taking the middle with 150 points. So the constructors is still all to play for, really, for the next 3 rounds. So there we have it, Japan. I hope we have all enjoyed. Take care of yourselves, and we shall see you all soon.